Hello, this is MysteryFilmFan, and I'm here. This is probably gonna be my wrestling channel, maybe some other stuff, maybe boxing, maybe MMA. I'm gonna talk about stuff like that. If you're not interested in stuff, then very well, I won't blame you for leaving. But if you are interested and you want to talk about something, please leave a comment, please leave a video response. However, I want to talk about wrestling in this particular episode um, because I just saw WWE Raw. Now, um, I'm not going to talk Raw too much, just because I think that CM Punk wasn't on it, and I think that was a mistake personally. But I know I'm not going to get on. I'm going to get on TNA or Impact Wrestling, whatever they like to call themselves. Now, TNA, for those who don't know, it was a company started by Jerry Jarrett and Jeff Jarrett in the year 2002. It was basically, Jeff Jarrett was not rehired by Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon has personal issues with Jeff Jarrett for whatever reason. And basically, Jeff Jarrett has gone on to start this company called TNA. Now, he started it off as their own company for the boys, basically the people in the back who basically were getting who hadn't been given a chance by WWE or WCW. Now, TNA was going along fine. It changed television rights until it was bought by Panther Energy, which was an oil company run by Dixie Carter's father, Bob Carter. And Dixie Carter was put in charge of of the company, basically, of TNA. She's basically the money. She makes all the business decisions. Now, the only problem with this is that Dixie Carter is many things, but I think a person who knows about wrestling is not one of them. Now, the best age of this is supposed to be around 2005 to around 2008 or 9. It depends who you ask. I'm probably going to say about 2009 because I'm always a positive thinking person than a negative one. But anyway, in the recent years, we've had people like Hulk Hogan, these fossils from back in the 80s and 90s, and basically, it's going nowhere fast. Now, there are many problems with Impact Wrestling. Now, let's go to the good. Again, the good stuff makes the bad stuff seem worse to me. I support the big talents like your AJ Styles, your Christopher Daniels, your Samoa Joes, your Beer Money, your Moxie Machine Guns, your Kaz's, your even some of the female stars like Mickey James and Madison Rain, and again they have a slew of good young talent with interspersed with older talent. Again, I'm not saying totally get rid of older talent, because again, older talent is what gets younger talent over. However, it's focusing on these older guys who are holding these younger guys down. The younger guys are basically can't get their head above water. They're always going to get to the icy depths of the water and can't get above it. Now, there are bad things with TNA, Impact Wrestling. Number one is the nonsensical storylines. Now, if you've ever tried to watch an Impact Wrestling show, it's nonsensical to the point where of basically want and abandon. They always start off a show with a promo. Now that's my biggest problem. If you're going to start off a wrestling show, start it off with wrestling. There's nothing wrong with having a good wrestling match, then have a promo. There's nothing wrong with starting off with good wrestling, and then because then you're setting the tone for the rest of the night. They did this a couple of years ago for the whole effing show, which was like a big standalone show, where they had Beer Money and Moxie Machine Gun starting off the match for the titles. Good, sets the tone for your show. I don't see why they can't do that every show. Just have a good, clean wrestling match. Then it sets the tone for the rest of your show, and then you can have a promo. Again, I'm not saying don't have promos. I'm saying, you know, intercut your promos with really good wrestling. Don't have it just about the promos. Now, a lot of this, the badness is put on one man's shoulders, and that man is Vince Russo, who is probably one of the most hated people in the whole of wrestling. Jim Cornette has put certain personal issues with the man. I don't hate Vince Russo as much as most people, because I think that he does come up with interesting ideas and interesting concepts. I just think that he needs somebody else to back them off. Now, people say, "Oh, no, he should be totally fired." I think, you see, because he said that he doesn't like the wrestling business. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not going to do something unless I like it. You know, I like writing. If someone says to me, "Would you like to write a wrestling show?" Yeah, I'm a wrestling fan. If somebody wants me to write a wrestling show, I have no problem with writing a wrestling show. But Vince Russo doesn't like wrestling. You know, he doesn't like the sport. He thinks it's fake. He uses the word fake wrestling. Now most of you say wrestling is fake. Yeah, but in the industry, that's not very well, because again, most of the guys bust their ass and do get hurt and want to put on a good entertaining show for the boys and don't want their sport to be made fun of. It's like me going into music and saying you're making fake music, or going into a film and saying this is a fake film. You don't want somebody in the middle of, let's say, I don't know, the next Batman film and Christian Bale to stop and go, "This is a fake film." Yeah, exactly. It would take you away from your enjoyment. You know it's fake. You know it's made up, but you're liking what you see. You know, you're engrossed in the action. You don't need some person to be telling you that you're watching quote unquote a fake show. And this is what the writers. Now, the thing is with Vince Russo is that I think he'd be perfectly fine just being a writer, just normally. You know, if he just did, you know, like a book of some kind. If he just did, you know, books on his religious beliefs, or he did books on, I don't know, like fairy stories or something like that, I think he'd be perfectly fine. I mean, again, if whatever he does, as long as it has nothing to do with the wrestling industry, I think he would be fine on. But also, Paul Heyman, the great Paul Heyman, came up with great ideas for TNA. You know, making it about the young stars, because they have a journey to go on. You know, Ric Flair has nowhere to go. He's already been made. He's already Ric Flair. You know, Hulk Hogan doesn't have where to go. Sting doesn't have anywhere to go. I mean, I think we should keep Sting around because he can still work. But these older guys have already been made stars. I mean, I don't. There's a person who is alive today who doesn't know who Hulk Hogan is. But where's the next Hulk Hogan? Exactly, Hulk Hogan is already who he is. You know, he's got the TV show. He's had the films. He's had this, that, and the other. Where's the next guy who's doing that again? Ken Anderson should be in that role. I mean, he's their champion at the moment, and nobody knows because you're not advertising this stuff. You're not having your younger guys put the sense of having great wrestling on it, and that's the problem. And Jim Cornette said it best. He said, "When was the last time you went to a football match and you had five?" I mean, could you imagine going? For the English people in there, going to an English football game and them having 7 minutes of football on it? It would be a problem, wouldn't it? If for an American fans out there, going to an American football game and them having 5 minutes of football, there'd be a problem. And it's the same thing here. Having 5 minutes of wrestling is bad. And don't get me wrong, the X Division tournament they've had recently has been great, but you need to continue to be great. Otherwise, you're just resting on your laurels. Again, Impact Wrestling, I'm imploring you, please employ Paul Heyman. Right, there's things wrong with Paul Heyman, like he can't balance a book. He tends to be a bit deceitful, but he is a great mind for the business. Vince Russo doesn't like the business. Paul Heyman does, and respects the business, and has actually run a very well and puts a good show. He would bring in people who actually like the business. Again, Vince Russo, I have nothing personal against. I really don't. I know there's wrestling fans out there that might hate me for saying so, but I don't care. Please make a better show, and we'll watch this shit all the way to because it's getting harder and harder to defend this show. It really is. So please, you know, fire Vince Russo and get somebody who can actually book this stuff.